Wall is a new film by director Doug Liman, whose work I'm a really big fan of. He's done films such as Mr. and Mrs. Smith, The Bourne Identity, with the recent one with Matt Damon, of course, and the most excellent film Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise. So this film is set in 2007 towards the end of the Iraq War. You've got a sniper played by John Cena and his spotter guy, you know, the guy with the little thing that looks at things for the guy to shoot. And he's played by Aaron Taylor Johnson. So these two are sent out to a location to investigate some enemy sniper activity, and they wind up getting pinned down by an enemy sniper behind this rickety little wall, and they're getting transmissions from this bad guy through a radio, and it sort of turns into this psychological game where the enemy sniper is trying to break these guys down. And it was really, really good. I was absolutely surprised by this film. I didn't know too much about it. I hadn't seen a trailer or anything, and I'm a big fan of movies that are kind of minimalist in a way. Like movies like Buried with Ryan Reynolds, where pretty much that entire movie was him in a coffin. And I also love war movies that do something a bit different, like Jarhead, for instance, which was a film about going into war all gung-ho and then finding out just how boring it can be with nothing happening. So this movie ticked all those boxes for me for things that I like, and you know, this film, it largely focused on Aaron Taylor Johnson's character, and I just love how it became solely focused on him and just what his character was trying to do to get out of this really bad situation. And there were so many other elements that really played into the believability of the situation. Like the whole thing was set out in the middle of nowhere, just behind this really poorly built tiny little wall, and everything from like the makeup design and stuff, like, you know, this guy being out in the heat with, you know, he's dehydrated, he's tired, and just you could see the dirt sticking to the sweat on his face, and he just sort of becomes progressively dirtier through the film, and it looked believable. And I gotta hand it to the sound design in this film. You know, just when you think that they've run out of ideas and they can't do anything different, man, there was one thing they did with the sniper bullets in this film which was friggin' scary. And that was seeing the effects of the gunshot before you hear the boom of the gun. You know, you'll see something happen, like a bullet hitting something, and then you hear the crack of the gun, and oh man, it just made it so much scarier because you don't have that forewarning of like a boom. It's like, uh-oh, I'm about to get hit by a bullet. In this case, it's like, shit, I've been hit by a bullet. Boom. Thanks, dude. And the runtime of the film it wasn't too long. It was like an hour and a half long. So, you know, I didn't find there was a dull moment in the film. If you're one of those people who likes a bigger film, you know, you might not appreciate it as much because this really was just such a minimalistic film, but it was done so well. It was tense. It was real edge of the seat stuff. I was gripped through the whole film and I couldn't wait to see what was going to happen next. Like, you know, you're just sort of wondering how this guy is going to get out of this situation, being that there's nowhere to run and this enemy sniper is just watching trying to watch his every move. Of course, he can't because he's behind a wall. And the only thing that kind of let the movie down for me was the ending. Now, obviously, I'm not going to spoil anything here, but it was one of those things that, look, the ending that they went with, I thought was great. That was the better choice of the two ways they could have gone. But either way, I just wasn't happy with the conclusion. But the problem there is that there was no other way you could conclude the movie. I think it was a case of the story being the way that it was told. It kind of put itself into a corner at the end because, like, there was just nowhere that it could go other than what it did. But I wasn't completely happy with the ending, particularly because it's such a ride getting there. You know, like I said, I was so enthralled and engrossed by what was going on, and I don't know, I just kind of felt the ending was a bit lackluster. But look, everything else in this movie was fantastic. It's a really sort of underrated film. Like, no one seems to be talking about it. It was a great story, a really great script, well acted. Even John Cena, the ex-wrestler. Actually, is he an ex-wrestler or is he still wrestling? I don't know. I don't follow that stuff. But even he was great as sort of the, you know, big dumb soldier guy. Well, yeah, I guess that was pretty appropriate. Great sound design, makeup, everything. Look, I loved this film except for the ending. So I'm going to give The Wall an 8.5 out of 10. I'm not kidding, this film could end up in my top 10 for the year. I even had to travel half an hour to go and see this thing. Like, it's not playing at any local theaters, so yeah, I hope you guys get to check it out. And in the meantime, I am gonna do my first Q&A video, which I never imagined I would do, but a few people have been saying you should do one, so I'm going to do it when I hit 300 subscribers. Now, on my last check, I'm at 281, so I'm nearly there. So, look, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd really appreciate it if you just hit that subscribe button, because I'm kind of looking forward to doing this Q&A. My buddies over at Screencrawler recently did one when they hit 200 subscribers, and yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I just kind of feel, you know, might be a fun way to, you know, for you guys to get to know me a bit better if you want to. I don't know. So go right ahead, hit subscribe. In the meantime, if you guys have seen The Wall, I would love to know what you thought of it. Drop me some comments, either here or on Facebook. All the social media links are in the description below, because I like to talk about movies, and I would love to talk about movies with you. I'll catch you next time.
Click subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest movie reviews. Skynet will be taking over any day now, so what have you got to lose? Nyah.